All right, y'all driving me crazy now. I ain't even gonna front. Homeschooling Asiatic, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Moorish children, and how we're going to facilitate that as a group with the Moabitesses, right? Which is the women, as well as the men. I mean, I'm open to all suggestions. This is a plea to all Moorish Americans that have currently taken their children out of these institutions and are homeschooling in order to create a group and a safe haven together, where as though at least once a week we can do a podcast or a video, whereas though we can educate our children once a week, at least to start, 2 to 3 hours a day. I think it should only be maybe 2 max. A week, in order to help ground our mothers who are jumping into this for the first time, as well as mothers who, need a little bit of help in terms of educating their children. Just keep in mind, we didn't have legitimate institutions for this. Our children learned at home with us. So we didn't have this. And this is what we need to go back to, realizing that the educational system in today's society is overloading our children. It's overloading our children and keeping them so preoccupied that by the end of their schooling system, they have learned absolutely nothing and only can probably utilize 1% of the things that they learned, because they were overwhelmed with so much useless information. I was like, so I'm appealing to all the Asiatics mothers, as well as sons, who have taken their children out of those institutions of higher education and are homeschooling their children. I have 3, 13, 5, and 4. 13, 5, and 6. And I've been homeschooling for 4 years? 3 years. Or 2. I think it might be 2 years. And my 2 youngest ones have never been in those facilities of, I ain't even going to call them what they are. So I'm appealing to all the Asiatic women for us to set up a group, whereas though we can come up with a one day during the week. It probably would be good to be a Wednesday. I think that's the less overwhelming day of the week. Not necessarily sure, let me know. Whereas though we could come together to help facilitate learning sessions. And if we could at least do 3 days a week, whereas the one individual mother can run that particular day, and then we'll have homework with the children so we can at least have it a little bit more structured and organized. I think that would benefit. But this is an appeal to all Asiatic mothers, Moorish sisters who are homeschooling their children, for us to create a group where as though we can share information, resources, as well as strategies on how we are doing this, as well as to get something a little bit more formalized so we can be on the same page and the information we're displaying be essential. We have a lot of technology today, especially with this venue, whereas though we can educate our children. Like, I have to tell you, my son, he jumps in usually when I'm doing a Facebook Live. And that's his education moment for the week. You know what I mean? I was like, so one thing you have to get out of your idea is thinking that you need to overwhelm your children with 8 hours worth of useless information. No, maybe an hour, maybe. I was like, let me tell you, all the information that you're learning and all the studying that you're doing is being passed down to them based on your life anyway. I was like, so you're already doing that. I was like, so let's talk about it. Let's start talking about it. Let's create a group. I don't know what you want to call the group. And let's move forward. So I commend all Moorish Americans who have taken their children outside of these institutions and are doing their due diligence and trying to facilitate higher learning in their own sciences, in their own culture. So Islam, peace and love, and I'll talk to you later.